Welcome to Inside British Royals. This is your exclusive look inside the world's most famous family. We are exploring the scandals, secrets, and power plays that define the modern monarchy. If you are new here, please do well to hit that subscribe button for more updates. The carefully constructed wall of royal privilege has been shattered. For decades, the financial dealings of the royal family were a mystery, wrapped in tradition and deference. But now, that protective shield is gone, broken apart not by speculation, but by the flashing blue lights of a police convoy. On February 19, 2026, on his 66th birthday, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, the man formerly known as Prince Andrew, was arrested. This wasn't a quiet suggestion or a behind-the-scenes talking to. This was a formal arrest on suspicion of misconduct in public office, a charge that cuts to the very heart of public trust. The central question echoing from the halls of Parliament to living rooms across the nation is no longer just about scandal, but about accountability. After a lifetime of privilege, will a king's brother finally face a reckoning? The arrest sent shockwaves through the establishment. On the morning of his birthday, police arrived at Wood Farm, Andrew's residence on the Sandringham estate, and took him into custody. He was questioned for hours before being released under investigation, leaving him in a state of legal limbo. At the same time, officers searched his current home in Norfolk and his former residence, Royal Lodge, near Windsor Castle. This wasn't about tabloid gossip. The arrest was for suspicion of misconduct in public office, a serious offense for anyone entrusted with power. The offense carries a maximum sentence of life in prison. The arrest marked the moment the allegations crossed a critical threshold, moving from the realm of investigative journalism to a formal criminal matter. The sight of a man born into the highest ranks of the British aristocracy being treated as a criminal suspect was a visceral shock, a symbol of a catastrophic fall from grace that many believed could never happen. To understand the gravity of the arrest, you have to look at the role at the center of the investigation. Britain's Special Representative for International Trade and Investment, a position Andrew held from 2001 to 2011. While his defenders often pointed out that the job was unsalaried, they rarely mentioned that it came with a publicly funded expense account for his extensive world travel. It's those expenses that have drawn intense scrutiny. Retired civil servants who managed his trips have since spoken out. One former official claimed there was absolutely no doubt that expenses charged to the taxpayer included personal services, like massages. He recalled trying to block one such payment, but being overruled by senior colleagues, who fostered a culture of deference where Andrew's expenses were often just rubber-stamped without real scrutiny. Another source reported claims for excessive flights and hotel rooms. While Andrew has consistently denied any personal financial gain from the role, the allegations from those who worked with him paint a picture of extravagance funded by the very public he was meant to be serving. It's impossible to separate the arrest from the scandal that has defined the final chapter of Andrew's public life: his connection to the convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The timing of the arrest on February 19th directly followed the court-ordered release of new Epstein files, which contained deeply troubling suggestions. The documents indicated that Andrew may have shared confidential government information with Epstein himself while serving as trade envoy. Allegedly, this included forwarding official reports about trade visits and a confidential brief on investment opportunities in Afghanistan. This elevates the matter from simple financial misjudgment to a potential breach of national trust. This was just the latest chapter in a long and sordid story. Andrew's connection to Epstein had already destroyed his reputation, following harrowing allegations from Virginia Giuffre, who maintained she was trafficked by Epstein and forced into sexual encounters with the then prince. The tragic news of her death by suicide in April 2025 cast an even darker shadow over the affair, and the posthumous publication of her memoir, Nobody's Girl, renewed public anger. Even the logistics of their association remain a source of scandal, with a probe ordered into how Epstein's private jet was permitted to land at secure Royal Air Force bases. Andrew has always denied any wrongdoing, but the shadow of Epstein is one he has been unable to escape. The fallout from Andrew's actions has triggered the most severe crisis for the British monarchy since the 1936 abdication. The scandal is no longer about one man. It has become a threat to the institution itself. His own brother, King Charles III, has been forced to take decisive action to protect the crown. Following the release of Virginia Giuffre's posthumous memoir, in October 2025, the king formally began the process to strip his brother of his remaining titles. The man once known as His Royal Highness the Duke of York was now simply Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. While allowing Andrew to live on his privately owned Sandringham estate, King Charles has publicly supported the police investigation, stating the law must take its course. Meanwhile, there's a growing demand for accountability on the financial front. When asked if Andrew should repay taxpayer money if it's proven to have been misused, the UK's Chancellor, Rachel Reeves, gave a swift and simple response. Of course. This has placed a formal expectation of financial accountability on Andrew. Calls are also growing to have him removed from the line of succession entirely. Such a move would be complex, requiring an act of parliament, but the fact that it's being seriously discussed shows how deep the crisis runs. The story of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor is a collision of money, privilege, and a desperate search for justice. We now have a live criminal investigation into misconduct, a public demand for the repayment of taxpayer funds, and a royal family in damage control. This leaves us with a series of profound questions. Will the police investigation lead to criminal charges? Will the demand for repayment ever be met? And most importantly, can the monarchy truly regain public trust while one of its own is at the center of such a devastating scandal? This story is far from over, and its ending will undoubtedly shape the future of the crown for generations to come. What do you think? Should Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor be removed from the line of succession? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you believe in holding power to account, make sure to like and subscribe for more in-depth analysis of the stories that matter.